Hello, welcome to the James Cooley Show. It's your life. I'm your host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley. And guess what? If you listened to the show yesterday, it was an absolute show. It was so good that I had to have these guys back on today because we did not finish everything that we were trying to get across yesterday because it was such an exciting conversation. And so we got them back again today, Michelle.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Back to back guests, the same guests. So we're really excited to have this amazing guest back and this amazing guest co-host who's like, hey, he's family to this particular show. So we're really excited. Did you want to introduce him?
Well, he don't require any introduction because he's been on about 10, 11 times, and
I think 20 plus.
It's been a couple of years, and when you just said family, Michelle, my heart just expanded because to be part of your family, people don't get the blessings that you bring to this world. It's beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
And your family, Doc, you already know that. I bother you all the time. I pick up the phone.
He always says, "Hey, I don't want to bother you, but," I always say, "You're not bothering me."
One day you may say, "Yeah, you are." Just to mess with them.
Hey, Michelle, this guest that we got coming on is gradually becoming family as well. So I'm excited to have him on. And Michelle, why don't you introduce both these guys again, just in case somebody missed it yesterday?
Oh, yeah. So definitely. So first of all, I'm going to tell you about the title of the show. It's 360-Degree Health, 7 Rules of Life. And we have our amazing guest co-host, Dr. Michael Mantell, on the show. He is an author. He is, He is a member of the Science Advisory Council of the International Council on Active Aging, a longtime member of SAG-AFTRA since 1981. He's been helping people of all ages and backgrounds to serve themselves less and creating lasting positive change with compassionate-based, rational, emotive behavior coaching methods. But let's talk about our guest today. So Dr. Michael Mantell, as well as the host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley, they're going to have a sit-down discussion with Dr. Eric Shapira, teacher of geriatric and special needs dentistry, geriatric medicine, nursing, and hospital administration. They're going to be discussing the 7 rules of life, which are: let it go, ignore them, give it time, don't compare, stay calm, it's on you, and smile. So let's again talk about Dr. Eric Shapira, who was born and raised in Los Angeles, California, received his Bachelor's of Science degree from Bethany College in West Virginia, went to the University of Pittsburgh School of Medicine and Temple University School of Dentistry in Philadelphia, and had a medical and dental residency at Mount Zion Hospital and Medical Center in San Francisco. Married to Susan, they're still running strong after 45 years of marriage. He had his own private practice in dentistry in Half Moon Bay, California for 40 years, now works per diem in dentistry and has a practice in gerontology and geriatrics named Aging Specialist, Inc. for over 20 years. He's an author, a Rotarian, and so many more. Having him back on the show to talk about 360-Degree Health, 7 Rules of Life. Welcome back, Dr. Eric Shapira.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Welcome back. And for the audience out there, I mean, regardless of where you're watching us at, whether you're watching us on E360 television, Roku TV, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, over 55 other live platforms, you want to be part of the conversation, all you got to do is just go to the platform that you're on, ask any question that you might have, or just say hello and become part of our discussion. Dr. E. and Dr. Mike, yesterday's discussion, we kind of touched bases with a lot of different things. And it was so much more that I felt that we needed like 2-3 hours. So, hey, Dr. Mike, can you catch our viewers and our listeners up with some of the things that we talked about yesterday?
Well, we covered, I think, a marvelous introduction to the concept of aging. You know, it's projected that the number of people 65 years of age and older is going to explode from about 58 million to almost 85 million in the next 25 years. That's going to be a tremendous impact in our society. The way we talk, the way we think about aging, the way we act, all of those things are going to certainly impact our health costs, our educational system, the workforce, Social Security, on and on and on. And so Dr. Shapira, who is a gerontologist, a dentist, all the things you've heard, mentioned yesterday 7 rules to healthy living. And Dr. Cooley and I exploded. We need to get into that. So that's why we're here today. We're going to go into those 7 rules of healthy living, but we want to hear some of your rules. What do you what guides you as well? So, Dr. Shapira, welcome back again.
Thank you. I'm starting to feel like family.
Yeah, you are. I know that, we can Google rules of living, and there's a billion of them out there. But you shared 7, and Dr. Michelle Cooley ran through them earlier. Why do you think it's so important, first of all, especially for aging, to have rules for healthy living? Why do we need these? They every time you open up social media, there's 7 more rules, 10 more rules, 3 tips.
Excuse me.
Why do we need these?
The rules are only preliminary to the major question. The major question is, what is it we want to achieve as we age? That's the question. And I want to read a quote by Gandhi, which is one of my favorite quotes, and I read it in all my lectures. And it says, your beliefs become your thoughts become your words become your actions become your habits become your values, and your values become your destiny. And it's about basically habits. It's the habits of living, not so much the rules of living, because rules tend to be too stringent at times and are interpreted in different ways. So if you continue to do a certain thing over and over and over again, it becomes a habit. And habits can be good habits. Habits can be bad habits. So I wore this shirt for that reason. I have to stand up to show you, but it's the phoenix rising out of the ashes.
Look at that.
And I think it's really important for all of us to rise up and ask ourselves those questions about what do we want to achieve as we age, and what is it we want to hold dear and sacred to us as we age, as our stepping stones into the future, whatever that may bring us. And those 7 rules have to do with that future. It's okay to have everything figured out, but sometimes we don't. And the person we were yesterday is what we want to overcome,
right,
in a sense. So that's something to look at. We were this guy or this woman yesterday. How much better can we take that next stepping stone up and be of a person today, and how can we nurture our aging process? That's key.
And so, on that point, Eric, one of the things that I navigate with the clients that I see for mental health coaching is the importance of developing awareness, to increase attentiveness to your environment, to your internal thoughts and feelings. Be aware of what's going on inside of you. Don't look on the outside for it. It's already here.
Yeah.
When we look for that purpose, we look inside. Work in, as I said yesterday, before you work out. Awareness is so important. So if people are aware of our beliefs, our thoughts, our words, our habits, then we know what we want to continue with or we want to, dissolve.
In some ways, we don't think about that, though. So we
Right.
have to be more cognizant of of the things we do and say each day in order to make sense out of our life, so to speak. Do we want a longer life? What's our goal? How long do we want to live? What do we want to achieve? Do we want better health? How do we get it? And that's not just physical health, but mental health as well. That's a key factor. We don't think about the thing that makes us think.
Right. Walter Bortz, MD.
Yeah, I know Walter.
A very, very fine gerontologist, passed away recently.
Yeah.
And we knew his wife, and he had a beautiful idea. He said that we live too short and we die too long. So imagine the bell-shaped curve, right? We start, I don't know where we are on the screen, but we start on the right side. We start, and we go up, and then we live there, and then we start this long journey of tubes and doctors and prescriptions and hospitals and braces and then we die. He said what we ought to be doing is we should be born, not in a bell-shaped curve, but rather born, and we live and we laugh and we learn and we grow. And there we are at 100, 120. We give a cough, we die. Brilliant. We don't want to live short, die long. We want to live long, healthily. That's why we call it health span. And this is a concept American College of Lifestyle Medicine and others are bringing to us. But we want to dig into these 7 rules of yours and see how we can begin to equip our listeners and viewers with some of these tools to live long.
I kind of like the philosophy that you just mentioned, Dr. Mike, and about that line, living. And once we get a certain point, I mean, we have lived, hopefully gracefully, and so then it's time to go. I mean, that's just how that is.
I want to embellish on what you're both saying, because what I was trying to illuminate was that line. Dr. Bortz had a little book he wrote for Aging for Dummies, but we're not dummies.
Yeah.
First, number one, your line was linear, and I talked about stepping stones. So I want to see my line as we age. I don't know which hand I should use to do this.
Right.
I want to see my line go up there. We all want to end up there.
Hold that thought. I got to take a station break. And you guys done did it again. Yeah, you guys got me excited, you got the audience excited, and guess what? We're gonna take a station break and we're gonna come back. We're gonna talk about these 7 rules of living. And we're gonna talk about a lot of other things. If you want to be part of the conversation, whichever platform that you're on, all you do is just go to the comments, ask any question that you might have. I promise you, we'll get you an answer. Yes, your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break.
You'll fight again. And if you want my opinion, I'll let it take me away. Only relief is the 4 on the floor and the crowd that goes, oh, turn it up, turn it up, turn it up, turn it up, oh, turn it up, turn it up, turn it up.
keeps us close when we're apart. Talking from the darkness of all that we've been through. It seems that there might be a way to leave behind the loneliness we've known and live again a life of
Hello, welcome back to James Cooley Show. It's Your Life, and these two absolutely great doctors that are here that's sharing a whole lot of knowledge that we all need to have an understanding of. And I tell you, every time I listen to these guys, I learn something. You know, I'm doing something different, and I think I kind of know them a little bit, but I continue to learn, especially with the stepping stones that Dr. E had mentioned, and the linear that Dr. Mike had mentioned, and all of these are a part of healthy living. And I believe it's a part of reshaping your mind, meaning that what happened yesterday, yesterday, it's a new you today. And we have to build upon on that new us for today, so we can continue to strive and continue to, I would say, become a new you. And age is just a number, just like we talked about yesterday. And I want to start with that. And I want to turn it back over to Dr. E. I'm turning this over to you, Dr. E. And we're going to pick it up because we're going to talk about those 7 rules of living.
Well, one of them is to let it go. Acceptance is very, very important in the process of aging. I'm one day older than I was yesterday, but who cares? I'm still myself, at least in my brain. And no matter what someone says to you, you look like an old so-and-so, you don't have to believe it. So you can let that stuff go. And we're faced with prejudice. We're faced with nasty people who may be jealous. We have no idea where they're coming from. And we're faced with all kinds of adversity. And that's why I talked yesterday about nurturing your inner child. And that's, Dr. Mike can probably talk better to that than I can, but it's part of your unconscious world that we all walk around with that maybe we don't think about too much. But I'm asking people to think about your inner child, because that's what nurtures your aging process. And in both that subconscious brain, you've got both positive images of your past and negative images of your past. And so we all have a choice of what we want to do, what we want to think about, and what we want to grasp. And I'm asking people to grasp the positive and nurture that inner child, because all too often it's squelched, it's stepped on, it's forgotten. And we get to be an old, grouchy 70, 80, 90-year-old in light of the fact that we've forgotten how much fun, how wonderful the world was as a nascent, innocent child that we need to nurture again and continue to nurture. To enjoy life and to enjoy our life, because it's all we've got. We only have one shot that we know of. Michael, you can make a comment.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I think that we have a story in our head. Every human being has stories from your childhood planted in their minds. And those stories are like guideposts. They lead us, and we believe these are like hard and fast rules. So someone in a session just yesterday, a person probably maybe 68, 69 years old, said, "Oh, that's not the way we do this." I said, "What does the way we do this have to do with the way we do this?" And he laughed. He said, "I never thought of that." He said, "That's why I pay you what I pay you." But you're right. So these stories, these rules that we carry, we can break them. We can renew. We can refresh.
And that's why go ahead.
That?
I was saying that's why number 2 on the list is ignore them.
Right. Yeah. How about insight? It's one of my rules. In other words, let's expand our curiosity and our knowledge. Gee,
absolutely.
What would it be like if I did do that? What would it be like? And so they may laugh at me, but what has their laughing got to do with me?
Yeah, exactly.
Like you said, what they think of me has nothing to do with me. There's an expression that we have, it doesn't touch me.
And yet, how too often do we absorb that information, take that in, and feel dejected and minimized in the face of a negative comment that we're hopefully supposed to let it go and ignore them.
Yeah. And if you can walk around thinking to yourself, I can rewrite the story. I can change my beliefs. In fact, if I don't, I'm stuck. Nothing's going to change. Eric, you also mentioned something about the word acceptance, and that's my favorite antidote for mental distress. People who upset themselves, who disturb themselves, do not accept life. I don't mean like it, but don't accept it.
Well,
so
on my sheet from my first talk on this show, the 8 Sacred Rules of Healthy Aging, the last thing I wrote on here was a quote I came up with: "Forgiveness frees the mind, and acceptance frees the soul." And that's that's very, very important. That's my quote, and
I'm going to use that.
I think that's a wonderful thing. And to go along with that, I want to read you a quote by a very famous, long forgotten physicist by the name of Edward Teller. And I happen to know this physicist. And in my book, The New Wrinkle, I wrote his quote: "When you come to the end of everything, you know and are faced with the darkness of the unknown. Faith is knowing one of 2 things will happen. Either there will be something solid for you to stand on, or you'll be taught how to fly."
Right. Yeah, I've actually heard that quote.
I think it's a great quote, and I think that it talks about my stepping stones, because we need to learn how to fly. We need to know to ignore the negative and embrace the positive.
If we can help those who have anxiety, who create anxiety about aging, understand that I can embrace uncertainty. I have uncertainty tolerance. That makes life a lot easier to deal with. So I broke my knee and I broke my elbow. Gee, when is this going to heal? It has to heal. Hey, you know what? I can deal with uncertainty, whatever it takes. It's going to take. That's a healing method for aging as well.
That's number 3, Michael. Give it time.
I'm on top of you, Eric.
Hey, let's go
leading you through this.
Hey, let's go back to number 1.
That's the job of a co-host.
Let's go back to number 1, because you put a lot of things in number 1. Let it go. And what ways does letting go to past grievances, regrets, negative emotions contribute to emotional liberation and foster a healthier and more positive mindset? For our viewers out there that's thinking about that, can you explain that to them a little bit more, Dr. E?
Well, we can't change the past, JC, but we certainly can change our future. And I think that emotional maturity as we age is a key to that. The more we learn, the more we imbibe, the more we practice positive thinking, the better off we're going to be, and the healthier we're going to be as we age. And the more we can, I'll use my word again, embrace where we are in life. We only have one shot at it. That's my mantra. We have one time around that we know of in this life, and why not make the best of it? And it's all about choices.
So I want to, JC, I want to just comment on two things here. I want you to make believe you're carrying a 300-pound tire behind you. Literally, I want you to imagine this behind you. You got your hands holding on to what's behind you, okay? Put your hands up like you're holding it up. And I want you to imagine you're holding that tire behind you, right? Mm-hmm. Now reach for, don't let go of that tire that's behind you. Mm-hmm. Reach for the future.
This tire's kind of heavy.
You can't reach for the future. You can't reach for the future if you're holding on to what's behind you. You can put the tire down now.
You're right.
You can't reach for the future if you're holding on to what's behind you. I will tell you a quote from one of my teachers, Dr. Albert Ellis, who says, "Show me what you believe was an influence from the past, and I'll show you how it isn't, and it's all based on how you think about it today." Today, not yesterday.
Good point.
Not yesterday. And Eric, something that you said about, that we can't change the future. I have clients who, gee, I wish I had I'm just praying for a better yesterday.
No, we can't change the past. We can't change the past. We can change our future.
You can't change it. What are you praying for a better history for? And the other thing is this, and I just another point. We have more than one chance, Eric. You said we have, it's one time. This is it. But every morning we wake up.
Oh, yeah. I'm talking about a total lifetime.
Right. But I want people to wake up today with the idea, thank you for waking me up. Yeah. What can go right today in my life?
Yeah, absolutely.
Too many people wake up with, another day. Not us.
Yeah, for sure. And the thing is not to compare. That's number 4. Don't compare. Yeah, don't compare to other people. Be yourself. Be true to yourself.
You got to be true to yourself, but also, Mike, you make a great point because in my lectures and my speeches, I tell people in my audience, etc., that you cannot live yesterday because it's already happened. However, some of the things that might have happened yesterday, you don't forget. It's a lesson learned. Remember what happened yesterday, but don't live it. Wake up with a new attitude and live today and try to be the best person you are today, but always prepare for tomorrow. Even if we're not going to be there, we already prepared for it. Yeah, so live the day, not yesterday. Prepare for tomorrow. Always be in the present. We got to take a station break. We're going to come back because we're going to dive, and I see Dr. E jumping at 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to talk about all of those in detail, so we're not going to get ahead of that. So if you want to be part of the conversation, whichever platform you're watching this on, all you do is just ask the question that you might have. I promise you we'll get you an answer. It's your life, and we'll be back with these 2 great doctors shortly after the break.
chance to know who you are. And once you know who you are, you truly know who you are, love who you are. Love who you are. You're a masterpiece. Love who you are. Love who you were born to be. Love me some me. That's what I'm talking about. When you leave high school, you gotta know today or tomorrow, hopefully today, what your plans are. Hopefully, there is no bad decision unless there is no plan. Create, collaborate, commit with confidence. Commit with what? Commit with what? And everything that you do.
Noah Dingley here, producer of The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. And the new audio version of James' book, Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet, is a must-have. James shares his true life story of struggle and success in America. It's both a cautionary tale and a roadmap to achieving the American dream. Get the new audio version of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James Cooley on Amazon.com or wherever audiobooks are sold.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's Your Life. And I want to say one thing, Dr. Mike. We came up with this philosophy of 360 degrees health about 2 months ago. And I never envisioned that it would turn into what it is today. And we get some of the top docs around the world, especially the United States, especially Dr. Eric Shapira and all the docs that we've been having on the show to talk about different things, talk about their specialty, to talk about things that is going to enhance our viewers and our listeners and educate them. And so I just want to thank you for help birthing this program that we have. And I want to thank Dr. E for his wisdom, his understanding, his focus, and the way he explains certain things. It captures, I believe, the listeners or the viewers' attention because it's true. It is true. So I thought that was important that I mention that. And we want to pick it up and we want to go off into these other 6 things that the great Dr. E is going to talk about. So I'm turning over to you, Dr. Mike, and then let's get Dr. E in because he want to talk about all 7 of these things and educate our viewers and listeners.
We were talking about the 4th rule, don't compare, focusing on our own unique strengths. And we just heard Dr. Cooley talk about love yourself and be proud of who you are and all that. Maybe you can expand on that a little bit. How does that actually help our well-being to feel good about who we are, to have gratitude for who we are?
This is what I believe.
Good question.
I believe that in order to feel good about yourself, to understand yourself, you have to know yourself. Meaning, you have to be honest with yourself. You have to identify everything about you. Only you know everything about you. You have to be able to identify the good and the bad. I mean, we can hide things from people, trick them or trick ourselves that they don't exist. But I believe in order for us to truly understand, if we want to grow, if we want to blossom, we want to be the best version of you that you can be, you have to identify these things. That's first of all, know yourself, all these things. Then once you identify these things, this is a tough one now, Doc Mike. you have to accept what these are. Many people now they want to push the bad things to the side and pretend. So you have to be able to accept who you are, regardless of what it is. That's you. That person that if you're in front of a mirror is looking at you, that is you. I mean, that's who you are. And once you accept who you are, you gotta love who you are. You got to love who you are. You have to love me some me.
Right. Like you say.
And then in order for, in my opinion, once you love you, and you go out and you be the same you every day. Now, we all don't have great days every day. I mean, all of us are human, but you still have to accept who you are, love who you are. You have to be the same person every day, good, bad, and indifferent. We all get bad news, we get good news, we get this and we get that. And Dr. E yesterday mentioned that the most important thing is attitude. Your attitude. How you gonna react to negative news or good news or attitude? So that's what I mean, knowing, accepting yourself, loving yourself before you share yourself. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Eric, I'm not sure that either you or I could answer that any better.
No, but I have a caveat.
Please, let's add to it.
Taking my glasses off. I can't take this mask off. Okay, this doesn't come off. So this is who I am. Like I had a mask on yesterday.
Right.
And I thought I kind of blew you away when you saw me with that thing on there, because it was still me, but I had a mask on. And that's a good segue into what we're talking about. And JC, what you said is absolutely spot on. My caveat is that you have to love yourself. You have to know yourself. You have to like yourself before you can relate that to anybody else. So, I tell people to, if you don't feel that way, then sit in front of a mirror, hug yourself, and say, nobody can hurt me because I love myself too much, and better believe it. It's extremely important to believe in what you think. Otherwise, again, there's that word, there's no validity to what you're thinking about. So belief is a big part of that. Staying calm around all this frustration and things like that, and don't compare yourself to others, as goes by the wayside. And you need to stay calm. That's number 5. Just stay calm and think about what you're thinking about. Think about the process of what's happening to you, and think about the difference it's going to make to your psyche. Most people don't think about those things. We're in a fast-paced, fast food, fast everything society, technologically advanced. We've got so much stuff on our brains. It's hard to think about one's inner self. And that's what I think we need to do as we age. I think that's really, really important. I really like to write a book about that. Michael, maybe you write the book with me, or JC. We write a
There
book.
we go.
Three of us write a book about that, because it's so important, and we don't think about those things every day. We think about how to survive in this fast-paced society of ours. So we can't relate to others if we can't relate to ourselves.
Peace of mind. Peace of mind is a hard thing to gain when we are racing around. We're being bombarded with news, some of which is actually true, most of it not necessarily. We're infused with not diversity, but with the opposite, with dispersing ourselves from people instead of coming closer with kindness, instead of breaking down barriers. We're stirred up, and we know when we're stirred up and literally inflamed, our blood cells weaken, we become sicker. We don't heal. So acceptance is where we are. If you want peace of mind, come back to, okay, I broke my knee. What am I going to be? It's bad enough I broke my knee, and making myself angry about it isn't going to help. It's going to hurt. Peace of mind. That calmness is an important element here. And then you have another rule, your sixth rule, and that is it's on you.
Of course.
What does that mean? It's on you.
Whatever we say, whatever we do, however we act, it's on us.
I've heard an expression from a rabbi actually who said, "If it is to be, it is up to me."
Great line.
Is that what you're sort of saying?
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, puts it in a nutshell. And I think that we need to own what we say. We need to own what we do. We need to be responsible for our actions. And basically, that's what I'm trying to say. It's not enough to do something. It's a priority to be responsible for what we do in everyday life. So we're talking a lot of stuff today, the three of us, and we're making comments about life in general, how we should be. Well, we'll go looking back here, maybe number two, people are going to ignore them because they don't make any sense to them. But, we need to be responsible for what we say and do in life and
what we feel.
And what we feel.
Because this concept of blame, you made me angry.
Yeah.
No, I made me angry about something you did or said or shouldn't have said or should say. We blame. And as we blame, then we think it's terrible. And then we say, I can't stand it. And out comes the gun or the club. No, you do not it's not your fault that I'm feeling this way.
Yeah, when there's blame, there's shame.
But absolutely, oh my God.
and not just that, but one of the things is, and I have learned over the years that I have to accept responsibility. Everything I do, all of my thought process. I mean, you listen to people, but you get advice from people, but you don't have to use that advice. I mean, the ultimate decision that you make toward anything, that's coming from you. And if you choose to go by what somebody else said and you haven't fully thought it out, you are responsible for yourself because those are inputs coming in. I know friends of mine, I say certain things or whatever that is, and they get all mad and don't want to talk to me and don't want to do all that because they go out and do that. But I don't care about that. I care about the decisions that I make for myself with the inputs and the things, because I have to be able to live with myself. I have to be able to be honest with myself. I have to be able to say, okay, that probably wasn't good, but it's on you, it's on me, it's on me. Not you caused me to do that. And so,
hey, JC, look at when you pointed the finger. Point the finger again. Let's do another one. Visual. Point the finger. Where are three other fingers pointing?
At me.
Back to me.
That's right.
That was a good one, Doc.
Yeah, that's right. When you point a finger at somebody, you got three pointing back at you, and that's where you look first.
Right. Nobody makes you feel anything. Nobody makes you upset, disturbed, angry, sad, depressed. You do that. I'm not saying that we don't make that healthy negative emotions. They're reasonable. But when you blame, boy, oh boy, we create war.
With that being said, I got to take this other commercial break. We're going to keep it short because this is good. And we're going to come back and we're going to pick it up. So, our listeners and our viewers, these two great doctors just got me because I point the finger this way and three of them pointing right back at me. I mean, hey, you can't blame anybody but yourself. We're going to take a station break. We'll come back and pick this up. It's your life. We'll see you shortly after the break.
I never wanna leave. Yeah, I'm right where I wanna be. We got something you and me, and I can't get rid of this feeling. Just like a magnet, we're just like a magnet. The things we have can't be taken for granted. Now I know that it has always been you. I can't help it, I'm so drawn to you. Just like a magnet, we're just like a magnet. The things we have can't be taken for granted. Now I know that it has always been you. I can't help it, I'm so drawn to you. Hey, I'm so drawn to you. I'm so drawn to you. Yeah, yeah.
Hello, I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley from the United States of America, and I am here to just say, first of all, I'm so happy and honored to be honored to be in the Coffee Book 2023, Unified Brain Z, and the other organizations. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to be a part of this collection. Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and I tell you, my guest co-host, Dr. Michael Mantell, and we came up with this series of 360 Degrees of Health, and we done had this great guest on a couple of times already. We talked about Dr. Eric Shapira, and I promise you that we gonna get him on again. It's gonna be the three of us again. I mean, because I'm kind of liking this, what we're doing. What you got to say about that, Doc? Dr. Mike?
Oh, well, no doubt. You know, you're reading my mind. And Dr. Eric has become a good friend of mine as well. He is a wealth, a resource, and just depth. And so we're only scratching the surface. I know that. Hey, so I want to be sure we get to rule number 7, though, before we run out of time.
Hold on, before we run out of time. I want Dr. E to tell folks about his new book, where they can get it at, and what it's all about real quickly before we do run out of time. We're going to get to number 7.
Well, I got a couple of books, but one book is my new wrinkle book, What I Learned from Older People Who Never Acted Their Age. And it's on Amazon. There it is. Or you can get it on a newwrinklebook.com website. And then if you're interested in geriatric dentistry or medicine, this is 4 years worth of work. Geriatric Dentistry, Gateway to Longevity and Lifelong Health. It's by Edra Publishing, and you can go to their website and get it because I don't stock it. But that just came out January 1st. I just got a copy, and it's going into 7 to 8 languages, which I'm blown away by. So I'm very, very happy with it. It's a one-of-a-kind book. It's written in a humanistic way. It has case studies in it, and it's information for practitioners, basically. But it's a very interesting book.
Doc, you just released you co-authored in the book. Can you tell our viewers a little bit about how they can get the book? Dr.
Dr. Mike.
I just shared writing a chapter on the power of autonomy independence in a book for the American College of Lifestyle Medicine called Empowering Behavior Change in Patients. It's written for physicians and health coaches and others in the health professions who have patients that they want to help them change their behaviors. And one of the key behaviors to begin to empower people with is this notion of autonomy. So that book just came out this past week. It's on Amazon already. It's called Empowering Behavior Change in Patients by the American College of Lifestyle Medicine.
That's great.
So I want everybody out there that's listening, go out and get all them books, and you already know how to get my books. But hey, we got about 4 minutes in the show, 3.5 minutes. I want to get to number 7. I'm turning that over to you, Dr. Mike. And so we got to compact this in. But
yeah, let's do it. I know that we want to be sure we cover this 7th rule because it seems to be a foundational point. Share it with us, Eric.
Smile, baby. Smile is rule number 7. It's a gift that we can give away and cost nothing. And I think
how many muscles are in a smile that we're exercising?
I can tell you there must be 50 muscles in that area of your mouth and your face that control that. So
pretty impressive, right?
Well, it's costing us a little energy to do it, but it's automatic most of the time. But you don't want to walk around like that. You want to walk around like that. Because it sends a message, friendship, validity of who you are, in a sense. You smile through your eyes as well as your mouth, so that's part of the complex. And your eyes, in my textbook, I've got a whole thing on eye signs because they do tell. They're a tell as to what you're thinking, whether you're honest or not, and et cetera, et cetera. So, I mean, you can look that up anywhere, but happiness is part of that smile. So if you're smiling, you're exuding happiness, and that's something we don't have enough of in the world. And we need to imbibe that, take that in, and help make that change to healthy aging. It's going to help you age in a healthy manner, both smiling on the outside as well as imbibing that and smiling on the inside. And your eyes will show that happiness through the sunshine that they show.
If you want to try an experiment, go walk down one side of the shopping mall and smile at everybody. Just smile at everybody. And then walk down the other side of the shopping mall and don't smile at anybody. Don't smile. That ugly, sad face. And then come back and tell me which side of the mall seemed friendlier. It's not that they're friendlier. You put out the vibe. That's the key. You put out the vibe. And that smile can do wonders for us. Wow. It reflects a sense of gratitude. I talk about a great attitude. That's gratitude. So smile. That's a great one, Eric.
And we're only in charge, and we are the only people in charge of our own happiness.
That's right.
Yes. And we are out of time right now. Real quickly, both of you guys, if somebody wanted to reach out and list your services real quickly, how could they reach out to you?
Dr. Shapira?
Agingmentorservices.com is my website. You can reach me through that. Or my email, eric@drshapira.com.
And mine is very simple. Dr. Mantell, DRMANTELL @me.com. I'll answer your email right away.
I love both of you guys. Hey, thank you so much. We're back with E360 degrees, not E360, 360 degrees of health every Wednesday. And I tell you, we're picking back up, and we're going to have absolutely fantastic guest doctors on the show again. And so I want to thank both of you guys for taking the time to come on the show today.
Thank you.
This information, we're going to do it again. I must thank Dr. Michelle Cooley for putting together another absolutely fantastic show. Most importantly, I'd like to thank our viewers and our listeners for tuning into the James Cooley Show. It's Your Life, Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Always dream big, think big, and be big at everything that you do. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. It's your life.